What did I think about Donald Trump being booed at the football game between Washington and Detroit? It happened before. The Washington Nationals in the World Series in 2019. Some things don't change. You know, it's funny how teams go against each other and their fan bases fight against each other. But whoa, wasn't it a trip to see Detroit Lions and Washington Commander fans booing him in unison? What a unity. Wow, when you can bring two teams together because they can't stand what's in front of him and he's talking, he just doesn't get it. Nobody wants to see him. He's like the Temptations. They didn't come to see you, old Trumpy. They want to boo you. When you really think that you just are in your own orbit and, I mean, really. I mean, really, this is what you got. Where's your wife at? Where you at? you know, just so bored that you want to come to a game where Detroit spanked Washington's behind because that's been going on. And then this turkey had the audacity to say that he wanted the Commanders to name the stadium after him. Well, the one thing, Washington and Jaden Daniels ain't played, and they got a hangover from going to the NC Championship game last year. They not looking good. Had 88 points the last 2 weeks. They gotten smashed. Well, that was the 88, but they gave up 38 to Seattle, so it was pushing. Actually, if I include the Dallas game and then I add this game, I got to do the math on my head. It's got some 120 some points, and I think they've only scored like what? 22, 20, 44, 50, 60 points. What happened to their defense? What happened, Washington? Mario Mariota can't be that bad, and their defense can't not be that brutal. But they choked that job, the game against Chicago, and they just falling off into the abyss. Magic Johnson didn't sign up for that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You're sitting in the office, and people are booing you. You up here boasting and bragging about the economy and the so-called stimulus checks and what you're going to do, and people are booing you, and you're not listening. Either your hearing aid don't work or your brain aid don't work. I don't know. You stumbling and wombling and looking like you lost. You're not quite Mitch McConnell, but you ain't far from gasping and grasping. But it's just embarrassing by the day, but no one's going to tell you nothing because you got a lot of people that pucker up and smucker up and they're kissing you up and they're just saying whatever because it's just fashionable to lie to you. That's all it is. It's a lot of fashionable people that will sit there and lie when, stuff be falling, but they say, oh, it's just a little pill. Who let you go out? Who is handling your PR? Who is telling you that it's cool to go out to go to the football game and get booed? You should be trying to work on getting the government open up. And you should be trying to talk to people. You ticked a lot of people off, and people are very hot. People lost jobs. People are hungry. They mad. They got to deal with ISIS, racism, institutionalized. All you got is one liners like you some broke rapper still trying to tell a one liner like you down at the club trying to make it. And nobody asked for all that. Meanwhile, by the way, you pardon Daryl Strawberry, you probably pardon Diddy, because you got to have your tokenisms in place. We know how this goes. Gotta make it look like I really care about the people, even though the roars against you and the negativities against you is very loud and clear. People don't like a dictator. And just because people got a name and some money, everybody ain't in the same boat. But oh, buddy, how embarrassing was that? It was tone deaf. People were throwing signs and booing you. There wasn't much of a game because the game was really between the eyes of the people and what they saw above. That got more reaction than the actual game. That should kind of tell you something. Maybe you need to keep your behind back at home and maybe just watch it on TV. You know, don't embarrass yourself, but you can't help yourself. You can't. Boo. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share the video if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out with time. Peace.